Hello guys, how you doing? It's of course Metaphysical Mason, and welcome. Today is the 24th of November 2021, and I just thought I'll come here and have a little talk with you. And the subject matter of the day today is overthinking is the biggest cause of unhappiness. Overthinking is the biggest cause of unhappiness. See, I posted that quote from somewhere on my timeline today on my Facebook, and I didn't have much time to expand on it. So I just thought, instead of writing and explain a little bit more, let me just try to explain it through this audio. You see, when the Buddha said, I believe it was the Buddha who said that overthinking is the biggest cause of unhappiness. You see, when you are overthinking, when you're thinking too much about a situation, there is certain principles of nature, of reality, that you need to be aware of. And one of the principles is the principle of expansion, or the principle of growth, or you might say the principle of germination. You see, every single thing that you plant in the soil, that thing is obviously gonna grow, it's gonna germinate, it's gonna grow, it's gonna expand. So that's why, hence, it's called the principle of growth, germination, or expansion. Because what most people do not understand is that nature mirrors our reality, or our reality matches nature. Everything that happens in nature is a total reflection of our reality, our individual day-to-day lives. You see, whatever you put in the soil, no matter what it is, anything that you plant in the soil, given the right conditions, whether internal or external, that thing is going to grow no matter what. And there's hardly nothing you can prevent it from growth, because it is going through its natural course of direction. And in a way, it's the same thing with us. Because whenever we think about something, whenever we've got a thought looming inside our heads, that thought, you've planted it in your seed, in your soil. And the soil is your mind. So the thoughts in our world, these are the seeds. So the seeds that you're planting inside your mind, those thoughts are going to expand. It's kind of paradoxical, because even if you are thinking about something and you want to try to solve that thinking, that's something, but the fact that you are thinking about it, you're actually giving it more expansion. You're actually giving it more growth. It's going to germinate. So let's say, for instance, you're worrying about something, and whatever that thing that you're worried about, and you're giving it so much thought, because you have to remember, thought are things. Thought are waves. Thought are electromagnetic waves. So whatever that you are thinking about, you're giving it form and substance. So that thing is going to germinate. It's going to expand. It's going to grow. So if you're worried, let's say about finance, if you're worried about money, if you're worried about how am I going to get through this? How am I going to get through this? Where is my next income going to come from? How am I going to afford to pay my rent? How am I going to afford to pay my bills? How am I going to afford to put food in the fridge on the table? So the fact that you've created that form and substance of lacking or worrying about money, you have literally watered and put fertilizers, put all the substance that's gonna make that a reality. So the fact that you're worrying and thinking about money, you're worrying about where's my money gonna come from, where's my income gonna come from, you've created a reality that's gonna manifest itself. So the fact that you are overthinking about a situation, you're actually helping to create this situation. So overthinking, ladies and gentlemen, it is the biggest cause of unhappiness. Because we worry so much about things that we have got no control of. We worry about things that haven't even happened yet. We come to certain conclusions about certain things that are still up in the air. Sometimes we are actually, we've got this illusion that whatever I'm worrying about, it's going to happen. But in reality, it's non-existent. So most of the times we worry about things that do not even exist. So by overthinking, you just have to remember you are creating that a reality to manifest itself. If you are an individual who's too anxious about yourself, about situations, if you're an individual who's always thinking, did I get this right? What do people think about me? Am I really worthy to listen to? Am I really worthy to be amongst other people? Should I really be accounted? Should I be taken seriously? See, those things that you're worrying about, those things that you are having thoughts about, you are actually creating them. See, this is what most people do not understand. The fact that you're thinking about that situation, you're actually creating it. So once we understand that the biggest obstacle to our unhappiness is thinking too much. We're thinking too much about situations. And most of the things, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with thinking. Obviously, we are conscious beings who are capable of to do conscious thinking. But here's the trick. Conscious thinking. There's a difference between just be thinking and being worrying about things instead of conscious thinking. Because when you're doing conscious thinking, you are actually the architect of everything that is happening. So you're actually building that reality that you want or you wish. So, because at the end of the day, right, you are the architect of your reality, right? So whatever reality that is happening to you, whether it's a positive or a negative reality, nobody else is building it for you. It's you. So you are the architect of your reality. So when you're doing conscious thinking, you are thinking positively. You are thinking to your own benefit that you are gonna get through this. You are gonna have that income that's gonna help you to pay off the bills, pay off that debt. You are conscious and adamant, and you've got faith, you've got belief in yourself. What is faith? Faith is the belief of things not yet seen, but you're very certain that it's going to happen. Because you've created this mental image that it's definitely going to happen, it's going to work to my favor. So that's the difference between overthinking and conscious thinking. Conscious thinking, you're actually building your reality through mental images. Most people, they wonder why they are always stuck in a cycle and they never snap out of that cycle. Every single season is the same thing. Every single year is the same thing. Every single month is the same thing. Why am I in that cycle all the time? It's because you're constantly creating the same reality all the time. And more often, it's a negative reality. You're worrying. Take no thoughts. I would say, to be more specific, take no negative thoughts. Thinking, the art of thinking, is an architect of reality. So you can be thinking negative things, and if your line of thinking is always negative, you're always worrying. Am I good enough? Am I capable? Why am I poor? Why I haven't got any money? Why am I not rich? Why am I unhappy? Why am I not married? Why haven't I got children? Why this? Why that? All these things, you are creating it. See, that's the thing about thinking, because thinking does not select. Thinking will just create whatever that you have formed. Because we live in a world of mind. We live in a world of thoughts. So everything that you see in the universe, everything that you see around you was, is, and will always be created by thoughts. Because it is thinking that puts everything into form. The physical clothing of manifestation of that which was thought is just an aftermath. But really, everything is created in the womb, and the womb is the mind. So, essentially, whatever that you think of, you create. And whatever you created experience, you've thought of. So, when you're overthinking too much, when you're worrying, am I going to get this? Am I going to get through this? How am I going to get through this? Oh, it's so difficult. Why is it so difficult? Why me? Why me? You see, when you're doing all these things, you are creating a why me reality. So that why me reality is going to manifest it to you, and it's going to be why you. If you thinking, oh, why is it so difficult? You've just created a why is it so difficult a reality. Once people do understand that everything that you see outside of you is a reflection of your mind, of what's within you. Everything, the world and everything in front of you is just a mirror image of what's within you. So what you're thinking, what you're believing, what you think it's what you think, what you've confirmed to be real, is what you're gonna see, and it's what's gonna present itself to you. Nobody else creates your reality; it is you. So by thinking and overthinking, especially negative thoughts, you're just expanding. You're making this thing to grow, to germinate. Remember what we talked about right from the beginning: the law of germination, the law of growth, the law of expansion. Everybody knows. Go and ask any gardener, go and ask any farmer. They will tell you, if you plant a seed in the soil, given the right conditions, that seed is going to grow. Whether that seed is good for you, whether that plant to you that's going to germinate from of the soil is good for you, good for the farmer or for the gardener, that's not the point. Regardless if it's good for you or not, what's going to happen is that it's going to grow, it's going to germinate, it's going to expand. Because whatever you plant in the soil is going to germinate out of the soil. And there's no two ways about it. Mark my words, listen to my words, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever that you plant inside the soil, it's going to expand, germinate, grow outside the soil. It's going to manifest outside the soil as a plant. And that's exactly psychologically, that is the same thing with us. We live in a psychological reality. We live in a mental reality. Everything that you see outside of us that is the mind. That is the mind. That is the soil. Everything was planted inside the mind. And what you see as a physical manifestation is a product of the seed that was planted in the mind. So once we understand that very, very important metaphysical teaching, you're going to understand that reality is based upon your thoughts and your belief. Experience and manifestation is based upon your thoughts and your belief about yourself and about you, about your world, about your environment. So what are we saying here? We are saying, think positively if you're going to be thinking. Think positively. If you're not capable of thinking positively, then take no thought at all. But think positively. Because whatever you think, whatever you have believed, whatever that you have entertained inside your mind is what's going to manifest outside of your mind. It might manifest on your body, might manifest in your reality, might manifest in your everyday experiences. And the buck stops with you. Nobody else creates or can manipulate your reality. Well, if you do not take care, if you're not in charge of everything that is happening to you, for you, with you, you're going to be living somebody else's reality. Because maybe somebody else had imposed their spell and their will on you, and you're at the mercy of other people's manifestation and wishes and hopes. So once you take control of your mind and understand that you are bigger than your body, you are a conscious being that is capable, you're infinite intelligence, conscious being. And your reality is caused by your thoughts. Then you're going to be understanding that happiness Happiness comes from within. Happiness is not at the things that you see outside of you. No, happiness is everything within you, and understanding that you can create any reality and manifest anything. See, that is the ultimate happiness, understanding that you are the creator of the happiness. Because most people that think, I'm happy because I found a car, a house, I found love, found a partner. But according to the principle of continuity, that whenever you meet the needs of something, and this is a principle, it's a universal principle, whenever you meet the needs of something, something else is going to be more needed. So whatever a hunger that you have of a certain something, when its needs are met, another hunger is going to come out of it. So it's going to be a perpetual, continuous cycle of chasing waterfalls, chasing the wind, basically. But once you understand that happiness really comes within, you are the author of your own reality, then you're going to understand that if something is happening in front of you, if something is happening in your reality, in your experience, you can change that situation. And how are you going to do that? Because it's simply a matter of thinking and choosing a state of consciousness. You're not happy with this state of consciousness, move to another state of consciousness. In my father's house, there are so many. In my father's mansion, there are so many rooms. There are so many rooms or state of consciousness. Countless. So whatever that you are experiencing is just a state that you have believed or that you have thought into existence. But it does not mean that state is permanent, because you can shift your consciousness from that undesirable state to the desired state. Like I say to you, do not worry about the things that is happening physically in front of you, because all these things are conditions. But you, by thinking positively and thinking into the desired state, shifting and tuning yourself into the desired state, that's how you're going to create your own reality that you have customized. You're not going to be at the mercy of living, just getting through, just getting by. But you're going to be doing conscious living. Conscious living comes through, or it emanates from conscious thinking. When you're doing conscious living, you know that every single experience that you're experiencing, you've created it. There is no anxiety, there is no worry, there is no inadequacy, there is no lacking, there is none of this. Because you have created it from your own mind. But by overthinking too much, so the fact that you're worrying about, you're stressed about certain situations, like I said, finance, or debt, or a job, or whatever it is, you've literally just put yourself in a state of consciousness of worry, anxiety, joblessness, no money, debt accumulation. All those are states, and they're so real, but you've just jumped yourself into that consciousness. It's called a quantum leap. it's just a quantum leap that you've literally moved yourself into that state of consciousness. And all of it, can I just remind you, all of it is simply coming from the mind. Everything is coming from the mind. Like I say, the mind is the soil. The mind is the soil. What is within the soil? That is the point. What is within the soil? That is the question. So if you have time to reflect and ask yourself such fundamental, deeper questions that say, what did I plant in my soil? What am I planting in my soul at this very present moment of time? What am I entertaining my soul, in my soil? What is it that I want to germinate from my soil? The law of germination, the law of expansion, the law of growth is not going to happen if there's nothing you've planted. It will happen if there is something that you have planted. But the key is, what is it that you have planted within the soil? And the soil is the mind, like I said. We live in a mental universe. Understand this. We live in a mental reality. Everything that is looks, feels solid is simply an expression of the non-visible thoughts or non-visible quantum waves. We live in a quantum world. Everything is a quantum soup, a quantum entanglement. Thoughts are quantum waves. And everything that you see that looks solid, that look real, but it's simply it's a movement of quantum waves, the movements of electrons and atoms and everything. But really, it depends of the vibrational rate. But really, nothing is solid if you break it down to its minute quality. Everything is light. Everything is energy. But the thoughts that you are creating by overthinking, those are energy forms. And those energy forms, they're going to vibrate at a certain frequency to create a physical manifestation. And that only happens when you are thinking or overthinking. So the quantum leap that's going to make you leap from whatever state of consciousness to another state of consciousness, well, you created it. You created it. Because there's another principle that you need to understand metaphysically as well, that we live in an ever creative reality. Our universe is always expanding, our reality is always expanding, because we are always co-creating, every single one of us. Every single day and every single one of us, we are always creating. So that's why the universe is always expanding, because creation is a principle, and creation is a natural, inherent thing that we all have. So we're always creating realities, you're creating situations. Thinking, the very fact of thinking, the very act of thinking, you have literally created something. So whatever that you are imagining, whatever that you have put inside your imagination and created that mental image, whether through worry or whether through conscious living, conscious thinking, you've just created it. This is the universe that we are living in, ladies and gentlemen. So I just thought I'll come here today and share this piece of information with you. So just to summarize this, metaphysically speaking, you have to remember overthinking is the biggest cause of unhappiness. When you're overthinking, when you're worrying too much, because when you worry, you are creating a reality. And when you're not conscious thinking, when you're not conscious living, you're creating a reality and living a reality that is not you and that is not desired by you. Every single thing that we think of is a creation, and it's going to manifest. Once we understand that every single thing that we entertain in our thoughts, that's why we always need to be mindful. Watch your thoughts, watch your thinking process. What is it that you are thinking? Because the very fact of thinking, you're planting the seed in the mental soil. And you have to remember and be aware of the law of growth, a law of germination, law of expansion. That which you have planted inside your mental soil, it's going to germinate and it's going to express and manifest outside of the mind as a physical form. So worry too much. Worry about money. The reality of no money is going to manifest itself. Worry about anxieties. Worry about confidence of yourself, stress. The reality of anxiety, lack of confidence, and stress is going to manifest in your life. Worry about the people do not like me, the people don't respect me, the people do not love me. You just created a reality of being not loved, being not respected, being not treated as somebody who should be treated with respect. Because you created that reality. Nobody else. The keys are in your hands. You can unlock the door to your reality. And that is conscious living. That is conscious thinking. But when you're overthinking, especially negative thoughts, you are just creating the reality. And you're going to be living a reality that you do not desire. And it's going to be a constant cycle. Unless you break off those chains, break off that cycle, it's just going to be a vicious cycle that's going to be ever growing, ever going. And you're never going to evolve. You're not going to be a better version of yourself. You are simply going to be in the same situation year in, year out, every single time, every single moment of your life. So, ladies and gentlemen, here at Metaphysical Mason, we try to motivate and inspire you. You need to remember that you are more than flesh and bones. You've got something inside of you that is majestic, that is divine, and that is consciousness. You're a conscious being, you're a divine being, you're a spirit, you're a spiritual being that has got the capability to create any reality that you want. You've got the capability to imagine anything that you want, create mental images of anything that you want, and have faith and belief in that which we have just created it. Like I say to you, all physical manifestation emanates from the mental thoughts. Everything physical emanates from the invisible thoughts. So start conscious thinking, start positive thinking, and start believing in that you've just created in your mental image or into your imagination. And if you're not happy with the state of consciousness that you are in, do the quantum jump, do the quantum leap. Simply move, because you've got the power to just shift your consciousness. I do not like what I'm experiencing. I want to live in this situation that I've just created. Because you are a co-creator of your reality. Most people will think that somebody out there is manipulating. Oh yes, that's true in a way, because if you are not thinking, if you're not in control of your life, you're just going to be living other people's life. You're just going to be living other people's imaginations, other people's dreams and hopes. But really, so you're just going to be a slave to other people's imaginations. But if you know that you are in charge, you're the boss, you're in charge of your reality, and nobody else will ever impose their will on you, impose their wishes on you. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's Metaphysical Method here. I just thought today I will come and give you a bit of metaphysical teaching. So we've learned today, overthinking is the biggest causer of unhappiness. The obstacle that stands on your way, on the way between manifestation of everything that you want, everything that you wish, is overthinking. It's negative thoughts. So be mindful. Take time to watch your thoughts. Watch what you are planting inside your soil, which is your mind.